Hi everyone, am I audible? Okay. Okay. So let's start. I think yesterday we finished till how a Python program runs on our system. We saw what is machine code, what is bytecode, what is the use of that. So I would just ask, I would like to ask, everyone has joined the Google Classroom? Those who are in this meeting, everyone has joined the Google Classroom? Hello? Okay. So I'm getting yes, no, Arun. Arun, you're joining. Okay, fine, no problem. Ramya, there is a Google Classroom code. Okay, probably you might have received a mail today, and the instructions are written there. Like it's a slide, so you can just follow those instructions, and you'll be able to access the Google Classroom content. So their class recordings and PPTs will be uploaded. Code will be uploaded. So you need to join that Google Classroom. And those who have not attended yesterday's class, kindly go and watch yesterday's recording, and that will give you a fair enough what we have covered in the yesterday session. Okay. So we have covered machine code, bytecode, and all those things, source code, compiler, interpreter, what is the task of a compiler, what is compile time error, what is runtime error, what is the task of an interpreter. So all these things we have covered in the yesterday's class. Today, I'll start with a few more features of Python. I'll start by explaining these features of Python, and then we will cover the rest of the topics for today's class. So I hope I'm audible to everyone and my voice is loud and clear. So if any disturbance is there, please let me know. Okay. So you can stop me, you can chat, you can put the message in the chat box and I'll be able to see. Okay. So if you have any problem, if you're not able to listen to me, just let me know. Okay. I will try to be loud. So let's see. Yeah. So the next feature we have is portability and platform independent. Okay, so these are the two different features of Python. Okay, so now what portability says and what platform independent says. See, at a time these two terms might look similar. Okay, but remember there is a difference between platform independent and portability. When you talk about platform independent, so a programming language can be platform independent if the bytecode or object code, in other terms we say P code. Okay, P for portable code. If we can move from one platform to other platform, okay, let's say you have Windows and you have Mac. So if you can move the bytecode of Windows to Mac or Mac to Windows or any other operating system, then that kind of programming language is called platform independent programming language. Python. Python is an example of platform independent programming language. Java. Java is an example of platform independent programming language. C. C is not a platform independent programming language. Okay, fine. So in the case of C, the .exe file you generate, this .exe file, if you will generate for Windows operating system, it will run only on the Windows. It will not run on Mac. This is the reason when you go and download different software for Windows operating system, there will be a different file. For Mac operating system, there will be a different .exe file. Clear? So platform independent always talks about bytecode and or object code or P code. Portability. Portability always talks about source code. Okay, if you can move the source code from one platform to another platform, let's say if you can move the source code from Windows to Mac or Mac to Windows, okay, so then that kind of programming language is called portable programming language. For example, C, C++, Java, Python, all these programming languages are portable. Am I clear? Am I clear to everyone? Any question? Please, any question, please. If you have any question, please let me know. I have got only one response from Arun. What about others? Is it not clear for others? Yeah, so I want a response on a regular basis. I will keep on asking the question, otherwise I won't proceed. This is the way of teaching of mine, okay? So please be responsive in the class. It's a request. It's a humble request so that I can understand that, yes, I'm able to, convey the message what I want to teach here, okay? Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have the next feature of Python is it is dynamically typed programming language. It is dynamically typed programming language. So if there is something called dynamically typed, then there should be something called statically typed programming language. So we need to understand what is dynamically typed and what is statically typed programming language. So first, let's understand what is statically typed programming language. Now, Python is a dynamically typed programming language, okay? And apart from Python, like C or C++ or Java are statically typed programming language. Those who are not coming from technical background, please listen to this carefully. Okay, this might be an interview question. So C, C++, and Java, these all are statically typed programming language. Why do we say these are the statically typed programming language? Why? So when you write a program, let's say if you want to write a program which adds two numbers in Java or C++, so you need to take two variables. Yesterday we have seen those kind of programs. So we need to take two variables. We will take A, let's say A is equal to 10. But here we need to specify that A, what kind of data type A is going to be. So since we have told int, so it is going to be only integer type, okay? So A can hold only integer values, not float values. Let's say I will take a different number and I will set that as B, okay, float. I will take 10.20. Okay, so B is a variable which is holding 10.20, a number, and it is a float value, and B can store only float value. Now I will take one more variable, float C is equal to, I will write A plus B. Okay, so now why I have made C as a float? Because final result will be float. Okay, so you can make int also, so finally it will give you the int. That is not a problem. But C is equal to A plus B when you will do. So here C you have made float type. So it can store only float value. It cannot store integer value. Okay, this is one thing you need to understand. And if you will try to do this, let's say somewhere in your program after 10 lines, 1000 lines or 10,000 lines, if you would like to store some float value to A, then in that case it will give you the error. Because you have made this A only as integer type, right? So A can store only integer type. It is static, it is fixed. That's why this kind of programming language, we say these all are the statically typed programming language, where we have to specify the data type for a variable specifically, okay, and explicitly. Okay, so this is all statically typed programming language. If you want to change the data associated with this variable to a different data type, it will give you the error. Now come to Python. You have seen my yesterday's program. When I was writing this program, so I was simply writing a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20, c is equal to a plus b, and I was writing print c. Okay, so here you can see I'm not specifying what kind of data a is going to store. Why? Because Python is a runtime. Okay, so at runtime it will check what value you have associated, and at runtime it will tell you that what is the type of a. Okay, so if you want to change the value associated with the a, let's say after some time if you want to assign some float value, so you can assign some float value to this a. This time the type of a will become float type. Okay, type of a will become float type. So at runtime, basically it is going to check what kind of data you have associated with a, and based on that data, the data type for a will be decided. Just a second. Okay, yeah, sorry. So yeah, so what we have seen, that data type for this a has been changed. Now it has become the float type. So what we can see, based on the data which you are assigning to a, based on that data, the data type for a is getting decided. So this kind of programming languages are called dynamically typed programming language. Python is dynamically typed programming language. R is dynamically typed programming language. Okay, so all these are the dynamically typed programming language. Okay, fine. Is this clear? What is dynamically typed programming language and why we say Python is a dynamically typed programming language? Everyone, please. Okay. So let's see it with a program. What difference, Anuva, you are asking? I missed 5. Since I joined late, I will go through the recordings again. No problem. We have just started. Okay, Dinesh. Anuva, which difference you are talking about? Yesterday, we have seen there are a lot of differences between Python. So like one difference I told you just now about portability and platform independency, right? No problem. You can go through the recording. We have not covered much. Okay. Those who have missed it, so not to worry. But try to join at 8 o'clock, sharp 8 o'clock. I will start. Okay. So you can go through the recording. Recordings will be uploaded. Okay. Anubhav, you may go through the recording. You may join the Google Classroom. You might have received a mail. So probably go through that and things will be clear to you. Okay. Okay, so what we have seen that a is equal to 10. We have written this program and I will check the type of a. Okay, so since Python is runtime, at runtime it will check what value you are associating with a. Based on this value, since it is an integer value, based on this value, the data type for a will be decided and it will become integer type. Okay, next. Let's say I will take another value b is equal to 10.20, and if I'll check what is the type of b, you can see here I'm not specifying the type of a or type of b like in other programming languages. I showed you here, right? So in other programming language, you have to specify the data type, that what kind of data you are going to associate with these variables, right? But in Python, you don't have to mention it, okay? Automatically, based on the value, it will take those values, okay? Next, let's say if you want to change the data for a is equal to 10.20, if you would like to make, then you will print the type of A again. So it will give you the, now the data type will be changed. It will be now float type. Previously it was integer type. Now it is float type. Okay. Okay. So let's run this. If you will check, for the first print statement, it is coming integer. For the second print statement, it is coming float because B is having float value. And for the third print statement, where you have changed the value of A, it is not giving you any error. You have changed the value from int to float, it is not giving you the error. It is mentioning the data type for A now has been changed to float. Now, if you will assign, let's say for A, if you will assign a string value, let's say this is a string. Okay. Now, if you will check the type of A, then now it is changed to string type. Okay. If you will run this, it will give you string type. Clear? Fine. So based on the value, the data type for A is getting decided dynamically. So that's why we say Python is a dynamically typed programming language. Any question? Okay. Thanks. So now we will go to, so we have seen this platform independent. Now we will go and we'll see this first program. Yesterday, we have written this first program in Python. We have executed all this command, and I have told that what is the use of all these commands. I hope you might have practiced it at home. Okay. Next, I will start with the indentation, making blocks and indentation in Python. What is a statement, multi-line statement in Python, and then I will go for the naming convention in Python. Okay. So let's see what is indentation and what is a statement, what is multi-line statement in Python. So let's see that. So yes, data conversion, data type conversion is possible. Yes. Okay. Okay. So now the next I will discuss, let's say I have a program. So the topic which I'm going to discuss that how a Python programs, memory management in Python. I think this part we have discussed yesterday, memory management in Python. Memory management in Python. Okay. How it happens. So we will discuss this part. Okay. Now let's see that. So first of all, what we do, we first write a program, that is a source code. I will write a source code. Okay. So I will write a source code for a simple program for adding two numbers. I'm taking this example because these all are the simple one, and we'll try to understand the concept with the simple examples. And then probably if you want, I can explain it with a complex examples. But first try to understand the basic part, and then the later part will be easier for you. You can once your basic and concept is strong, you can learn any topic. Okay. So I'll be taking this example. B is equal to 20, C is equal to A plus B, and print C. Okay. So this is one simple program. The program name is add.py. Okay. This is a Python program. So how the memory management happens in Python. So whenever you will run this program, so what will happen? This program will get loaded into the RAM. Okay. So let's say this is the RAM. Inside this RAM, OS is already running here. Okay. And let's say Paint is already running. So this is the memory allocated for Paint. And what you did, you ran this program, which is a Python program, right? So once you ran this program, PVM got active and some memory got allocated by the OS for this program in the RAM. Okay. So this is the memory location, or you can say this is the memory which got allocated for add.py. Now, whatever value or whatever variable you are taking, all those values and variable will be saved here, and all the processing and intermediate result will be saved in this location only. Okay, in this location. So who will allocate this memory to this? OS will be responsible to allocate this memory. Now, how much memory will be allocated? It depends. What is the size of your code? Okay, how much data you have in your program? So based on that, OS will do the calculation and then it will allocate some memory. Let's say the memory allocated for this is 10 KB. Okay, it is a small program, so the memory allocated for this is 10 KB. Now, how the memory allocations happen for this 10, 20, 30, A, B, C, how it happens? So I need to understand that part. So I need to enlarge this part, okay? Because memory allocation will be happening for these values in this part only. So I need to enlarge this part, okay? So I am enlarging this. It is going to be like this. Okay. Now, whenever this Python program runs, so in this block of memory, 4 area will get created. The first area is called code area. So these all areas are getting created in which memory? This memory, only this memory. Okay. All these things is happening in this part. Okay. The first area is called the code area. Okay. The second area is called the variable area. Okay. The third area is called the heap area. Okay. And the fourth area is called the stack area. Okay. This is free memory. This is free. And if your program grows, let's say if you are taking more and more data, if your program grows, then this heap will keep on increasing in this direction and stack will keep on increasing in this direction. And if sometime what happens, sometime you get the memory error. Okay, so you don't have enough memory when sometime when you run into infinite loop. So in that case, what happens? This heap and this stack keep on increasing. Once they meet, so that will generate the memory error. Okay, so try to avoid those situations. Okay, now what is the use of all this? So code area, in the code area, this is fixed in size. Okay, code area is fixed in size, and in this only code will get saved. Whatever code you have written, this same code will get saved here in this location. Okay, there will be no processing. This is fixed in size. There will be no processing in code area. This is just used to save the code, and it will be smallest in size. It may be 1 KB or 2 KB maximum. Okay, fine. Next, you will be having the variable area. So variable area are used to store the variable names. Okay, variable names or identifier, basically you can say, to store the identifiers. Okay, they are used to store the identifier. Variable area are used to store the identifiers. So all the identifiers like A, B, C, all these things will be saved in which area? Variable area. What is the use of this heap? Heap, remember, heap is always used to store the objects. Okay, you go to any programming language, in every programming language you will find the heap area, and heap area will be responsible to store the objects. Even in Java also, the objects are getting stored in the heap. Okay, now in Python everything is an object. This 10 is an object, 20 is an object, this 30 is an object. Okay, if you will take one string, let's say hi, this hi is an object. If you will take a list, that is also an object. Okay, what all these things we will be discussing it in the upcoming classes. But in Python, everything is an object except these variables. These all are the identifiers. So all these objects will get stored in the heap area. 10, 20, 30, all this gets stored in the heap area. Now, what is the use of stack area? So stack area is used to decide the order of execution of function. Execution of functions. Okay, so whatever functions you have in your program, in which order they will be executed and they will be resolved, that is decided in the stack area. And even stack area is also responsible to have the references of local variable inside a function, to have the references of local variable. Okay, now what is local variable? That those all things we'll be discussing in the upcoming class. But see, for us the main important part is variable and heap. We will be focusing on these two. Code area is not of much importance, stack area is of the importance, but this will be useful when you will go to functions. Okay, when you will go to function, I will show you what is the use of stack, not now. I will be showing the use of variable and heap area now. At this point of time, I am expecting you to have this, what to say, Thorny editor you might have downloaded. Okay, so now, once we close the particular program, the memory gets disconnected or still the program utilizes the memory. No, Once you close the particular program, then why unnecessarily you will be blocking the memory, Dinesh? Correct. So it's the misuse of memory. Okay. Okay. So now I'm expecting you to have the Thorny editor. Just open this Thorny editor. I will open the add.py file which I have written yesterday. Where it is on the desktop. Add.py. Yes. Okay. So this is the program. We have this simple program. I'll be running this program. So this Thorny editor, you can run the program here in two ways. Okay. Now what you have to focus upon, you have to focus upon the heap area and you have to focus on the variable area. So before running this program in the Thorny editor, I will first explain it here in the pane, and then probably I will show you in the Thorny editor how it executes. Okay. So that you will be able to correlate the thing. So let's see that how this program will get executed in the, how the memory will get allocated in the heap and variable area. Okay. So see, whenever you run a program, so in Python is a sequential execution. In Python, the program runs sequentially. So always the execution will start from the very first line. Okay, from the very first line. And when the first line will be executed, in order of executing the first line, first the right hand side part of the statement will be executed and the memory allocation will be happening for this. Once the memory allocation will be done for the right hand side part, the memory ID will be allocated to the variable on the left hand side. Okay. Similarly, once it is done, it will come to the second line. In the second line also, it will do the same thing. First right hand side part will be executed and then memory allocation will be happening for this, and then the ID will be referred by B. Similarly, this part also. So all these things will be happening in the same order. Okay. Now let's execute the first line. So what will happen? First, we will come to the right hand side, 10. There is no expression. 10 is just a number. It is an object. So where we need to save it? We need to save it in the heap area, because 10 is an object and object gets stored here. Where? In the heap area. So 10 will get stored in the heap area. Let's say the memory ID for this location where the 10 is getting saved is X. Okay, fine. Now, since this X, we have got the memory ID, so A will be pointing to X, because see, in other programming language, what happens? The same memory location will be named as A, but in Python, it will have a X, and A will be stored in the variable section, and A will be pointing to this X. Okay, so A have the reference of X. So let's say if you will write print A in your program. Okay, so what will happen in this case is, from here the control will come to the variable section. It will check whether A is available in the variable section or not. Yes, if it is available, then what is the memory associated with this A? It is X. Go to the X ID in the heap area and fetch the value at the X ID. This is 10, and then finally it will print 10. Okay, so this is how the execution happens. Now, so the first line executed. Now we will come to the second line. So again, in the second line, 20 is the object which will get saved where? In the heap area. So 20 got saved, and let's say the ID for this is Y. So what will happen in this case? B will be now pointing to Y, correct? So B, which is the variable which gets saved in the variable section, it will be pointing to Y. Okay. Now second line also got executed. Come to the third line. This is A plus B. Now what will happen in this case? See, A is a variable. So I need to check whether this variable is existing in the variable area or not. So the control from here will go to the variable section. It will check what is the ID associated with A. It is X. Okay. So what is the value associated with this X ID? It is 10. So it will replace 10 here. Okay. Fine. Okay. Now it will come and check whether B is available. Yes, B is available. What is the ID? Y. What is the value associated with Y? It is 20. So replace 20 here. 10 plus 20 will become 30. And this is a new object. Since it is a new object, so what it will do? It will save this 30 also into the heap area. And let's say the ID for this is Z. Okay. So now C will be pointing to Z. So C is pointing to Z. Okay. Now it will come to the fourth line, print C. It will check C is available. Yes. What is the ID? Z. At Z, what is the value? 30. So it will print 30 here. Okay. So this is how a Python program runs and memory allocation happens. So now let's cross verify it with the Thorny editor. That's why I asked you to download Thorny editor yesterday, so that you can visualize this, your program, whatever program you're writing, you can visualize it. Okay. So you'll be learning a lot of things here. See, now let's say if I will click on this button. So it will be running directly. Okay, it will directly give me the output and the values will be generated on the right hand side. Okay, but I need to see the step-by-step process. So I will click on this debug button. Okay, now wherever this yellow line is coming, it means I'm going to execute that line, and wherever that yellow line will be coming or yellow block will be coming, it means that particular part is getting executed. So to go into the next step, you have to click on this. If you can see, step into this middle button. Okay, you need to click on this. Once you click on this, you can see now yellow is coming to only 10. It means first this 10 will get saved in the heap area, right? So let's see that. You can see on the right hand side in the heap area, 10 is saved in the heap area, and there is some memory ID which is C40. Now, according to our concept, A will be stored in the variable area and A will be having the same memory ID, right? So let's see that. You can see now the same thing is happening. A is equal to, this is the same ID, C40. Correct? A is pointing to the same ID, correct? So A is pointing to now 10 indirectly. Next, I am coming to the next line. First 20 will get saved. Okay, so 20 is getting saved. There is some ID associated with it, and B will also be pointing to the same ID in the variable area. Next, first it will take A. What is A? ID of A is this, C40. What is the ID of B? ID of B is this, and it will access the value at these locations. Then it will add these two numbers and it will create a new value 30, which is the ID 2EC0. So now C will be pointing to this new ID 2EC0 in the variable section. So let's see that. Yes, C is now pointing to 2EC0. So when you will be printing C, so first it will check what is the ID of C. It is checking what is the ID of C. It is 2EC0. So now it will print the value at this location. Okay, it has printed 30. Okay, so this is how a Python program runs into our system, and this is how the memory management happens. Let me know if you have any question. Any question, please? Understood, not understood? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Why is none? Lakshmi, thank you. Thank you for asking this question. So none print is a function which returns. No, see, print is a function which returns some value, correct? Raj, print is a function which returns some value. So it returns none. Okay. Now, what is the return statement? So that is the part of the function. And just you can think of it that there are few functions which return something. If they return, then that value will be saved in the memory. If they return nothing, then they will return none by default. And if they are returning none, then this none will be saved. Now, what Thorny in feature? I didn't understand this question, Dinesh. So why it returns none? Probably when we will go to the function, we will discuss it there in the detail. Okay. So as of now, you can think of it like print is a function which returns none. That's why this none object is getting created. Now, this none object will not be created every time. Let's say if you will have print A here, and if you will execute it again, so none will not be created 2 times. It is 1-time creation. Okay. So you can see this program is running and none is created only 1 time. Okay. Fine. Are you using the same this editor, Thorny? You should get it. You should get it. Check. Mine one is 3.7. None is the object. None is like null object in Java. You have none in Python. None means no value associated with it. So print basically returns nothing. When a function doesn't return anything, so it returns none by default. Okay. Now, why it returns none? That one we will cover in the function part. As of now, I'm leaving this because unnecessarily going to a different track. Okay. See, null type, we don't have null in Python. Instead of null, we have none. Okay. We don't have null in Python. Okay. Fine. So now we have discussed this one. You can simply type Thorny. Doris, you may follow my video of a recording of yesterday. There I have explained the installation of different softwares. Okay, you may follow the recording, you will get it there. You may just type Thorny editor in the Google Chrome. The first link you will get, there you can visit thorny.org. Yes, correct. Thorny.org, correct, Arun, thank you. And from here you can download. Is all Python defined values give none? Python defined values, what do you mean by this? Python defined values. No, it's not like that. The print is not a value. Print is a function. Okay. Print is not a value, Satish. Print is a function. And not every function returns none. Few function returns none. Okay. So now, having discussed that, I'll be coming to, I will be discussing this part, naming convention in Python. Basically, I'm going to discuss the identifier concept now. So I hope everyone is clear on this. Do you have any question? Otherwise, I'll proceed to the next topic. Okay, I'm going to the next topic. Okay, so right hand pane visible. You can go to this. You can go to view, and on view you have heap and variable section available. You just select that one, and then it will be available for you. Okay. Okay. So now we will come to. Now we will come to the next topic. The topic is identifiers. Identifiers in Python. Okay. Now, what is an identifier? So I have given the definition already in the slide. So you can think identifier is nothing but a name. It is nothing but a name. Okay. So whatever name you use in your program, that name is called an identifier. If I will have a look at this program, then the name which I have used, A, B, C, all these are nothing but the names, right? Let's say if I will define a function here, def my underscore function. Okay. So this is my underscore function is also a name. This also a name. My underscore function is also a name, right? Let's say if I will define a class here. Okay. So class, my underscore class. Okay. This is my underscore class is this my underscore class is a name. So whatever name you use, that is an identifier in Python. Okay. So in other words, I can say that later indentation I will discuss later. So everything is related with something I will discuss. I will not leave anything. Don't worry. Okay. So identifier is a name which is given to a variable. Name which is given to a variable, a function, a class, or you can say it's a name given to any other object. It's a name which is given to any other object. Okay. So when you write a program, you use a name for the referencing. Okay. So whatever name you use in your program, that name is called the identifier. Okay. So let's say when you write an identifier, there should be some rule, correct? For everything, there should be some rule. For writing the identifier also, there are some rules. So the first rule is what all are the allowed characters to define an identifier. The allowed characters are A, capital A to capital Z, and small a to small z, and 0 to 9. These all are the allowed characters. Apart from this, underscores are also allowed. What all characters are not allowed? So not allowed are special characters, right? Special characters are not allowed as in your identifier name. Okay. Reserved words are not allowed as your identifier name, correct? And what else not allowed? You cannot start your identifier, do not start your identifier with a number. Okay, do not start your identifier with a number. Now, what is the next? It is case sensitive. Okay, it is case sensitive. So what does it mean, case sensitive? If you are taking one identifier, let's say num is equal to 10 and num is equal to 20. So this num variable is different, this num variable is different. I will tell you. Wait, everything. I'll tell you. This num is representing 10 and this num is representing 20. Okay. This is capital, this is small. Words are similar, right? NUM, NUM. But since this is small and this is capital, so being case sensitive, these two are different variables. Okay. Now, don't start with a number. So let's say if I want to write an identifier, so I cannot start my identifier with a number. Let's say I cannot write one num is equal to 10. I can write num1 is equal to 10. This is fine. But I cannot write one num is equal to 10. This is incorrect. This is correct. Okay. Special characters are not allowed. Special character, for example, if you will take num $, this is not allowed. Okay. Any special character, if you take in your identifier name, it is not allowed. Fine. Now, what all the reserved words we have? So there are number of reserved words in Python. Every programming language has some reserved words. No, reserved words is not equal to keywords, Vinay. Reserved words and keywords are different. All the keywords are reserved words, but all the reserved words are not keywords. Okay. So in the reserved words, you have reserved literals as well. Okay. And you have keywords as well. Okay. So now we will have a look at the reserved words and keywords. Okay. Reserved words basically. So let's see that what all reserved words we have. All these reserved words. So I will write import keyword. Okay. And then I will print keyword.k KW list. Okay. Once you will run this, it will give you a list of reserved words. Out of this, false, none, and true. These all are the reserved literals. Okay. And the rest all are the keywords. Okay. Rest all are the keywords, and these three are the reserved literals. And combined together, they are called reserved words. Okay. So you cannot use these reserved words as your identifier name. Remember. So let's say if I would like to say false equal to 100, this, and if I'll try to run this, it will give me the error. So you cannot take a reserved word as an identifier. Yes, you can take this false. You can take this. There is no problem in that, but it is not recommended to do this. Okay, it is not recommended to use this kind of words as your identifier, because it will create a problem for you and for your colleagues, right? So let's say if someone else is coming in place of yours to handle the application or to develop the code, then if you will be looking at your code, he will leave the company simply, or they will ask you and they will pay you extra and they will ask you to do this job again. Okay. Why? Because you are the only person who can understand this code. So it's not about the understanding the code, but it will create the ambiguity. So generally, we try to avoid this kind of ambiguity in our program. Okay, so never use these reserved words as your identifiers. Okay, clear? Everyone, is this clear for everyone? Any question? Lakshmi, do you have one question or no question? False, none, and true are what? False, none, and true are reserved literals. They are called reserved literals. So you can say that these all are the reserved words, and reserved words are of two types. One is reserved literal, one is keyword. Reserved literals are, these three are the reserved literals, rest all are the keywords. Okay. No. First three are reserved literals. I will tell you, reserved literals. These all are called reserved literals. These three are reserved literals. Okay. These three are reserved literals. Okay. Here you can see Maoist Rajkumar. where you can see Maoist. KW list. Okay. This is the keyword list we are typing. This is the syntax to get this list. Okay. When you will write this, then you will get this list. Okay. No, you cannot use, neither you can use keywords, nor reserved letters, not reserved words. Simple. See, these all things are the reserved words, right? So you cannot use simple. Import, we use import to import the modules. That is the different part. Okay. So let's say, if you want to, if I will try to find the square root, okay, square root of a number, SQRT of 4. So if you want to find the square root of a number, this is the function. If you will run this code, it will give you the error. So this SQRT function is available in Python, but it is not available directly. Where it is available, there is the module called math. So you need to import the math module. Okay, you need to import the math module, and then you need to give the reference here math.sqrt. Then you will be, now you will be able to find the square root of the function. So this SQRT function is available in the math module. So import is used to import the modules. Okay, so now if I will run, it will give me the square root. Okay, Satish? Fine. Okay. Okay. So list out the function. Which function? Functions in a module. Yes, you can list out the functions in the module. You can do this. So let's say if you want to list out the function in the math module, right? So you can go ahead and you can write print dir of math. Okay. Once you'll write dir of math, the module which you have imported. So you can simply write, press enter, and then it will list out all the modules available in math module. Okay. Now, someone has asked me, can I get the number of module? You cannot get the number of module, but you can get the modules which are available for you to use. So you can simply write print help modules. Just wait for some time, it will show here. Okay, so it is not showing here. You can go to terminal. Okay, I will show you here. No window. Python help write modules enter. What happened? It is giving me the error. I don't know. There might be some problem with the installation. Can anyone check this command? Go to your CMD command prompt, type this help modules. Okay. After typing Python, if you don't have Python, then it won't show. But you type this command, it should show the list of modules. It shows with this command. Okay. So what all modules are available? It will show with this command, help modules. It will show all the modules available for you to use in Python. Okay. Any other modules such as math? Yes, there are a lot of modules. There is sys module, there is OS module, math module. There are a number of modules. There are packages like Panda, Matplotlib, all these things. Okay. So this is the advantage of Python. So it comes with a lot of modules and built-in modules and packages. Okay, Nathan. Let's know about all keywords later. Yes, if I will not explain, then learning Python is of no use, right? So if you know this keywords, if you know about these keywords, then you know, half of the Python you know already, okay? Yes, in CMD it will take some time, correct. It will take some time, like here it was taking some time, so it will take some time, okay? So it will take some time to list all the modules available, okay? Okay, so let's come to this. We have covered this naming convention. We have covered this. Now let's come to the session 2. Now, the next we have is input and output function. Okay. So how we can use the input and output function. So remember, first we need to understand why we need this input and output function. So for taking the input from the, yes, it has around 10 plus thousand of keywords. Yes, there might be. Okay. Yes, Raj. So input is used to take the input from the user. Let's say if you want to take the input from the user, for example, if you will have a look at this program. So in this program, what I'm doing, I'm adding two numbers, but I have fixed the numbers here, right? I cannot change the number. Let's say if I want to change the number dynamically, or what is my requirement is, when I will run this program, I will ask the user to enter the number. Okay. For example, when you go to calculator, you enter your number. It doesn't comes with its built-in numbers, right? You enter your number and then it gets added. It doesn't comes with 10 and 20 built-in, right? So in that case, how I can make the changes here? So I can use input function here. If I will use input function, so I will write this program here. Yes, correct. In this link also you can get the list of modules. Vinay has posted some link. Okay, so this is also the way. But it is good if you can get it from terminal, because in some cases few modules might not be available. So whatever list they have provided, that might be the list that what all modules are available in Python all over. But what all modules are available for you to use, that one you need to check in your system. Okay, so that one you can check with the help keyword. Now let's come to the Jupyter notebook. Now what I will do here is, yeah. So I will take the input from the user. Input, I will use the input function. Input function is used to take the input from the user. And this input function may take one argument, may not take the argument. So the first argument which you pass is the message which you want to show to the user. Enter first number. Okay, so this is a message which will show to the user, and then user will enter the number, correct? For example, if you will not write this message, then what will happen? So let's see that what will happen. So in that case, what will happen? The cursor will blink, but it will not show the message. So it may not be clear to the user what he has to do. Okay, so let's see that what exactly may happen in this case. So if I will run this program, so it is asking enter first number. I have entered 100, done. Now it is asking, it is cursor is blinking, but I don't know. I may press the enter. So it is just giving me the 100. Okay. It is not giving any such addition, or it is simply I have entered 100 and then it is giving me the 100, right? So it is not of no use. It is of no use. So instead of that, what I could have done, I could have written one message more here that enter the second number. Then this message is meaningful. So this is the message which will be shown to the user, and then it will make some meaning to the user, and then user will enter some value. So if I will run this program, then what will happen? So it will ask the first number, I will enter the first number, then it will ask the second number, I'll enter the second number, and then it will give me the summation. Now there is a difference between the output. Like there is a discrepancy in the output is 100 to 100 I'm getting. I was supposed to get 300, 100 plus 200, 300. Why it is giving 100 and 200, 100, 200 combined together? So remember, this input function in Python converts everything into the string. Okay. Yes. This input function converts everything into the string. So let's say if you have a string like this, A is equal to 100 and B is equal to 200. And if you will print A plus B. Okay. So in this case, what will happen? If you will run this code, it is giving you 100, 200. So remember, this 100 and 200 are different. Let's say if I will write A is equal to 100, B is equal to 200, and I will write print A plus B, then this will give me 300. So see, this 100 and 200 are different. These are the numbers. This is also the number, but since kept in quotation, this becomes the string. So when you do 100 plus 200 like this, so string gets concatenated. They will keep side by side. But when you add two numbers, it gets added and then it will give you the result after adding those two numbers. So now the problem here is, since input converts everything into the string, so what is the solution for that? I need to take the number from the user. So what you can do, after taking the number from the user which gets converted into the string, you can do the type conversion. You can write int just outside of the int function. And remember, don't forget to give this brackets, okay? So if you will keep this int, so what? First, this inner function will run. It will ask the input from the user. And after getting the input, it will convert it into the integer value. Outer function will run later. And then the integer value 100 will get assigned to A. Similarly, here also, I can make it int. And then finally, I can take this 200 and then I will get the result 300. So let's run this code again. So if I'm entering 100, so this is 100, 200, this is 300, right? So I hope this is clear. Anyone having any question what we did here? Input function, how we can convert the number to the integer value after taking the input from the user. Everyone, any question? I'm getting the response from very few people. I don't know whether everyone is able to understand. There are a number of people, but this, yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay. So, so input function is clear now, right? Now I will come to this indentation in some time. Okay. So just give me some time. I will come to that indentation. So we have seen that typecasting is allowed on the input function. Now let's say if you wanted to take the float value, not integer value, but the float value. So let's say B value, you wanted a float. So you can do the float conversion, okay? You can take a float number from here. So whatever value user will enter, that will get converted into the float. So let's say if I will run this code, and if I run 100, and then second value if I'll enter 200.20, it will get converted into the float. The final result will be 300.2. I have one question on data set. Yes, please go ahead, Raja. Raja, you may ask the question. See, this is the different one. Okay, so as of now, we are not into the Panda, and this is also not the part of our discussion, right? So we're not going to this part as of now, because others will get, confused with this unnecessary question, because there are a lot of concepts have to be covered before this. So you may know the things, but other may not know. Correct. So we will not be going through this. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Raja. Thank you for understanding. Yeah. What is into function? Where is into function? Where I have written into function? What are the data types are used here? You can use any data type. You can use int, float, complex, string, list, tuples, dictionary, anything. If you want a list value, you can do the typecasting for list. If you want to take the tuple value, you can do the typecasting for tuple, dictionary, dict function you can use. You can use any typecasting here. Okay. How to debug on Thani? Monica, probably that part we have left behind. So I will either discuss towards the end of this session, or probably you can go through the videos, Monica. Okay. Kamran, I didn't get your question. What is into function? Just kindly elaborate this question, then probably I'll be able to explain it. Okay. Okay, so the next part is print function. So how we can use the print function, that one we need to check. So print function is mainly used to get the output, okay? So let's say if you want to print something on the screen, then you go for the print function. Okay, so you can see here print A plus B we have used to get some output on the screen, right? So why we are learning print function? Because there are a lot of things you can do with the print function. For example, you have A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, and C is equal to A plus B, print C, print A, print B. Okay, fine. Now if I will run this code, so just observe the output. Okay, this is the output. When I'm printing C, it is printing 30 and then it is going to the next line and then it is printing A. After printing A, which is 10, it is going to the next line and then it is printing B, which is 20. Correct? So whenever you are using a new print statement, the output is getting printed into the new string. So is this possible that to use the multiple print statement, but the output should get printed into the same line? So what I mean to say is I should get the output something like 30 space 10 space 20 in the single line by using 3 print statement. How I can do that? So remember why it comes to the new line, because there is a end attribute in Python. Okay, and this end attribute is set to a new line. New line means \n. In the coding, \n means new line. Okay, so this end attribute is set to the \n. Okay, so let's say if I will write end is equal to \n. Okay, so I will get the same output. Okay, let's run this. I'm getting the same output. You can see I'm getting the same output. Correct. So what I can understand from here, that every print statement has an end attribute. By default, the end attribute is set to \n. That's why when you run, every time you get the output in the new line. So what my requirement is, I don't want the output in the new line. I want the output in the same line, but I want the output to be separated by a space of a tab space, right? So I will write \t. \t means a tab. Okay, you have tab on your keyboard. That tab is represented by \t in programming. Okay, so these outputs will be printed in the same line, but the output will be separated by a tab space. So let's see that. Can you see? The output is coming in the same line, but they are separated by a tab space. Clear, everyone? So is this clear? The end attribute. What is the use of this end attribute? Okay. Okay, thank you. So now we will come to the next. So your print function may take multiple inputs. Okay, I will take this same example, Control C, Control V, and I will take, so as of now we have printed one value, correct? We have passed only one argument to print function. Can we pass multiple arguments? For example, A, B, C. Yes, we can pass. Okay, so if I will run this code, then what will be the output? You can see the output is coming 10, 20, 30. But you have passed this value separated by comma. Here the separator is coming as a space. Why? Because apart from end attribute, there is a separator attribute in Python. Okay, and that separator attribute is set to space. So when you pass multiple arguments inside the print function, all those 3 values or all those values will be separated by a space. Why? Because the separator attribute is set to a space. Clear? So now my requirement is I don't want a space separator. I want something else. I want this sign as a separator. This sign as a separator. Can I do this? Yes, I can do this. So you will be setting this sign as the separator in the print function. And then if you will run the code, the values will be separated by this sign. Clear? Separator and end attribute in Python. Any question from anyone? Okay. So now we are done with the input and output function. Now I will do a small discussion about formatting the output. Okay. So let's say if I want to format the output, in which order? So as of now, what we have done, we have printed the output like this. If we are writing the code, we are simply writing print C. Okay. So it doesn't give much meaning to us. What is this 30? So I want to print a meaningful output. What output I want to print? I want to print the output in this order. The summation of 10 and 20 is 30. I want the output in this manner. Okay, how I can do that? So we can do the formatting in Python. To do the formatting, how we can do? So in print statement, we use F first, and then we use the inverted commas. Okay, inside inverted comma, you will write this message. Whatever you want to print, in whatever order you want to print, you will write that message inside this. Okay. Now, after writing this, wherever you want the values to be replaced, You will remove those values and you will write one placeholder. This placeholder will always be in the form of middle brackets. Okay. So wherever you have the value, you will replace those values with the pair of middle brackets. Okay. I have replaced it. Now, after replacing it in this middle bracket, what you will pass? You will pass the values which you want to be replaced here. You want 10 to be replaced here. So you will write A. Why? Because 10 is stored in A. You want next, you want 20 to be replaced here. So you will write B because 20 is in B. You want 30 to be replaced here. So you will write C. Okay, because 30 is in C, right? Now, if you will run the code, you will get the order output in the same order. Okay, this is called the output formatting. Can you repeat this again, please? Yes. Okay, so let's say as of now, what we have seen, we are simply printing the outputs, right? 30, 10, 20. But my requirement is I want to format the output. I want to show some meaningful message on the screen. F stands for formatting. Okay, F stands for formatting. Yeah, why? Because this is the last line, no? So this is the last line. After this, I don't have I have nothing to print. So let's say if I will have one more print statement here, then I will set that end attribute for this. After this, I have nothing. So what is the need of writing another end is equal to \t? Remember, always try to reduce the code. Don't unnecessarily, just for sake of writing, don't simply keep on writing things. Okay. The Python is used for that. Okay. Yeah, so here what is my requirement? I want to have some meaningful output on my screen. I want to have the summation of 10 and 20. Let's say you want to see that what user has entered. So this kind of program, I will take this, Control C. Okay, now, so what is your requirement? That user may enter any value. No, you don't know that what user will enter. You want to see that what is the first value, what is the second value, and what is the result of that. Correct. Now, if this program will run, then in the previous program, the values were fixed, but now the values are not fixed. So you need to check also that what value I have entered, and then what is the respective result of those values. So in this case, if you will run this code, then you will enter some value 100, 200.24. And then if you will press enter, then it will show the summation of 100 and 200.24 is 300.24. Now, let's say if I will ask you to write similar kind of code where you will print that the first number you have entered is 100 and second number you have entered is 200.24 and their sum result is 300.24. I want the output to be in this format. Then what you will do? Correct. So you want to show that what user has entered as first number, what user has entered as second number, and what is the result. So what you will do? So the output in which whatever format you want, you simply copy that and you paste here. You paste it in the print function after writing F. Okay. So you just paste it here. Control V. I pasted it here. Control V. I pasted it here, right? Now, whatever value I want to replace here the first value. So I will write bracket A. I want to replace here the second value. I will write bracket B. Okay. And I want to replace here the third value C. So I'll replace this value with the C. Okay. Now user may enter any value whenever this program will run. So user may enter any value. Now this time he will enter 200, 200.34. Now let's see the output. It is coming in this order. Okay. What is single quote and double quote mean? So that is a different discussion. I will come to that. Okay, single quote and double quote, you can, as of now, you can understand that both are used for creating the string. You can use single quote or double quote. It doesn't create a lot of difference. But yes, there are few cases where single quote might not work, and there are few cases where double quote will not work. In which cases, when I will go to string, I will explain it to you. Okay. But as of now, whatever program you will be writing, you can use interchangeably. You can use single quote or double quote. It won't create any problem as of now. Okay, Mohammed? Abdul? Abdul, is this clear? Okay, yeah. So We are done with the print function. Now I'll be coming to the operator. What all operators we have? I'll be going through this session a bit fast, and now is 9:10. I will try to cover this session today. Seems like logical error in output. Where is the error? 200 plus 234. 434 it is coming, no? Dot 00003. Why it is coming? So yes, there might be some calculation error. So let's avoid that. That is a different thing. So if I will execute it again, 200 dot 200 and 200.34. And this is coming like this. Some error in the output. Okay. So you can consider this 400.34 is coming, right? This is what we were expecting. Okay. Okay, so the next part is operators. Okay, now, so we will start with the arithmetic operator. What all operators? So the operators are used to do the operation, different operations, right? In any programming language, we have the operators, and these operators are used to do the different kind of operations like arithmetic operation, comparison operation, equality kind of operation, logical operation, bitwise operation, assignment operation, membership operation, identity, and ternary operation. Okay, so what all these operators are there, we will be discussing about it one by one, and we will try to finish. I will be a bit faster. If you are getting stuck somewhere, if you have some question, please let me know. Okay, you can stop me in the chat and I will be answering you. Okay, so this plus is the addition, subtraction, multiplication. You know these three things. Okay, these three things you know. Okay, and these 3 or 4 things are new. Out of this fourth might also be you might be knowing exponent. Let's say if you want to raise the power 2 to the power 3 or 10 to the power 3, something like that, so you can use this exponent. But 3 things are bit, you have 2 division, you have modulo operator, so we need to check all these 3. Okay, so I'll be explaining for this. So addition, just to add 2 numbers, 3 numbers, you can use addition. Subtraction, you can use for subtracting the numbers. Multiplication, you can use for multiplying. Let's see what is this float division and float division. Okay, so float division and float division. Now let's say you have a number a is equal to 10, b is equal to 3. Okay, and if I will write a by b, then what will be the output? What will be the output? Correct. 3.33333 and so on. Correct. So this is what? This is a float value. Now remember, what is integer value? What is float value? A small just definition. Integer value without decimal point. If a number is without decimal point, that is called integer. If a number with a decimal point, that is called a float value. Okay. Now, when you are dividing this number and when you get a floating point value, means this float value with a decimal point, that division is called float division. Okay. And how you will be able to get the float division? Using single slash. Okay, using single slash. Okay, now let's say if I will ask you to divide 10 by 3, I will ask you remainder. I will ask you quotient and I will ask you remainder. What is the remainder and what is the quotient? Then you will divide it by 3. You will get 3 as a quotient. This will be 9 and 1 will be the remainder, right? So I can say quotient is 3 and remainder is 1. Now, so when you would like to get the quotient or the floor value, then that is called the floor division. The division which returns only the quotient, that is called the floor division. Okay, and the floor division you will be able to get using double slash. The division which gets you the remainder, that is called the modulo operator. Okay, the division which gets you the remainder, that is called the modulo operator. Okay, so let's see all these things with an example. So I will take this two number, a is equal to 10, b is equal to 3, and I'm printing a/b. Okay, this is float division. Print this is float division, and this is float division you get by double slash. Okay, and print remainder. Okay, remainder you will get by modulo operator. Fine. So let's see that. Now if I will execute this code, so for the first one, float division, I'm getting this 3.333. So whenever you do this division, you will be getting the float value. That's why it is called the float division. Now, when you will use this double slash operator, you will get the quotient, and it is called the float division. Now, since this returns the floor value, it returns the floor value. Okay, that's why it is called the float division. Fine. And this final one will give you the remainder. Okay, this is called the modulo operator. Why not a comma b? What is a comma b? I didn't understand, Mithun. What is your question? Modulo operator. Okay. Okay. This is called a modulo operator. So these all are the three different like operators which we have. You might be having the confusion about it. So I have explained it. So this is float division. Why? Because it returns float value. This is float division, and float division always returns the quotient or it returns the floor value. Okay. And modulo operator will return the remainder. This is modulo operator, percentile sign. And exponent. So exponent, what it will return? So let's say if you want to raise 10 to the power 3. Okay. So 10 to the power 3, how you can raise? Double star 3 when you will be writing, then you will be able to raise 10 to the power 3. So if you will run this, you will get 1000. Okay. So if you want the, so in this case, this is base and this is exponent. Okay. Correct. So this is how you can use the exponent operation also. So these all are the different operations. Remember, these all things, these all arithmetic operations which we are learning. This is for the numbers. Okay, this is only for the numbers. We are learning only for the numbers, not for the sequences. For sequences, two operations are applicable. One is addition, that is called the concatenation, and one is multiplication, that is called the repetition. We will be discussing about it later when we will be going to the sequences. Okay, but as of now, all these operations, whatever we have learned in the case of number. And remember, in the case of complex number, this modulo operator doesn't work, but all the operations will work in the case of complex, and in case of int and float, all these operations will work. Okay. Any question? Any question? Okay. Thank you. So we are done with the arithmetic operator. Now we will come to the comparison operator. Okay. I want few responses from here. So try to answer the question when I'll be asking the question. So there are 4 comparison operators. One is greater than, one is smaller than, one is greater than equal to, and one is less than equal to. Before coming to comparison operator, I'll be discussing 2 functions. Okay. So what all those functions are there? Those 2 functions are ORD function and CHR function. Okay. What is this ORD and CHR function? So ORD and CHR function are not equal to, that is a different operation. We will be discussing Omkari in some time. Okay. Equality operator. We will be discussing there. Okay. So ORD function. What is this ORD function and CHR function? So in the first class, I think in yesterday's class, we have discussed that our system doesn't understand source code which we write. Whatever we are writing, our system will not be able to understand. Our hardware system will not be able to understand. So finally, everything will get converted into the machine code, right? So how the machine code conversion will be happening? Remember, I told you about ASCII or Unicode. So ASCII is the standard code where every key on your keyboard is having a specific number. And using that number, you can easily convert that particular character. Let's say if you will talk about A, capital A A is equivalent to 65. If you will talk about small a is equivalent to 97. Okay. So if A is 65, capital B is 66, capital C is 67, and so on. Small a. So if you want to have a look at Ascii code, you can simply go to Google and type Ascii code. Okay, you will be getting a table. There you will see that whatever keys you have on your keyboard, all those keys are having one number. And using that number, you can easily convert from these characters to any binary code. Okay. So basically, these are used for the binary conversion. Okay. Now, ORD is the function which gives you the corresponding ASCII value of a character. ORD always takes one single argument. Let's say if you want to get the corresponding ASCII value of capital A, you can write capital A, only single value it will take. Inside the ORD function, it will give you the corresponding ASCII value. Similarly, let's say if I want to get for small a, you can write it here. Similarly, let's say if you want to get for equal to, even equal to is also having a ASCII code, right? Similarly, let's say if you want to have the ASCII code for anything else, you want to have for 7, a number. All these things are having the ASCII code. If you will run this code, you will get the corresponding ASCII code for all this. Capital A is represented by 65, small a by 97, equal to by 61, and 7 by 55. So all these letters, all those keys on your keyboard are having a specified number. Using that number, you can easily convert it into the binary. Okay, and your system, your hardware understand only numbers. Everything is number. Okay. Now this is ORD function. What is CHR function? So CHR function is used. Let's say if you have a number, from that number you want to check what is the corresponding key associated with that. Okay, so you can pass that number. Let's say if I pass 65, then it will say that the corresponding key associated with it is capital A. Similarly, let's say if I will write 97, then 90, what is the key associated with 97? It will say small a. Similarly, if I will write 61, so it will tell it, the key associated with 61 is equal to. And similarly, if I will write, let's say 55, so it will tell that it is 7 is associated with it. So let's say if I will run this code now, you can see these all are the values. Where it is used in real-time scenario. See, it is not used in real-time scenario, but to explain something, I'm writing this. And ORD and CHR are the most used, not most used, but they are being used. You will be using it in my upcoming classes. I'll be giving you a few programs where you might need the use of these functions. Okay. So since all these things in the syllabus I need to cover, I'm covering all these things. Okay. But as a data scientist, you might not need to use it, but yes, as a developer, as a coder, you need to know all these things, okay? Because you don't know that in interview what kind of questions will be asked. So if any question are coming from this part, then you should be able to code it, okay? Fine. So this is about ORD and CHR function. Now let's come to the comparison operator. So what all comparison operators we have? We have greater than, smaller than, greater than, equal to, and less than or equal to. Remember this greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. This comparison operator returns Boolean value, means true or false. Let's say if I will print 10 greater than 20 or not, 10 greater than 20, this is false, so it will return false. Okay. So this comparison operator always returns Boolean value, true or false. If it is true, it will return true. If it is false, it will return false. For example, let's say if I will write 10 greater than and equal to 10. Whether it is true or false, it is true. So here it checks whether greater than or equal to or not. If it is not greater than, then it will check whether it is equal to or not. If it is any one of them is satisfied, then it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. For example, if I write 10 greater than and equal to 20, so it will return false because 10 is neither greater than 20 nor equal to 20. So it will return me false. Okay. But at the same time, if I write 10, then it will return true because at least it is equal to 10. Okay. Fine. So this is about the comparison operator which returns the Boolean type. Now the next question is, let's say what we have seen that A numerically is equivalent to 65. So if I will write A greater than and equal to 65, is it true or false? Everyone, true or false? No, greater than 10 greater than and equal to 20 will be false, right? Because 10 is neither greater than nor equal to 20. But if you write 10 greater than and equal to 20, then in this case 10 is not greater than, but it is equal to 20, so it is returning true. Most of the people are saying true, but few people are saying now false. No. So neither true nor false, it will give you the error. Okay. It is giving you the error. Fine. Now, so remember, this comparison operator doesn't work between the different data types. Okay. Correct. So you can see easily here, type error greater than and equal to not supported between instances of str and int. Let's say, so between different data types, if it doesn't work. So if I will write 10 greater than 5.20, is this true or false or error? True, false, error. So if I will run this, it will give me, so let me comment this part, because this is creating the error. So it is giving me true. Okay. So remember, this comparison operator doesn't work between the different data type except int and float. Even if you will try to do the comparison between the integer and a complex number, complex is also a number, right? So if you try to do the comparison here also, it will give you the error. So this comparison operator only works between the similar data types, and in case of dissimilar data types only between int and float, but other data types it won't work. Okay. So in the case of integer and complex, it will give you the error. Okay. It is not allowed. Okay. So you can see here, comparison between similar data type is allowed. Comparison between different data type is not allowed except int and float. Except int and float, in any case it is not allowed. Clear, everyone? Everyone, any question? Okay. Print ORD of, that is a different thing, no? So ORD of 65 you are saying, let's say if you are saying ORD of 65, ORD of not 65 or CHR of 65, okay, CHR of 65, and if you will write greater than or equal to A, correct? So in this case, if you will run, so in this case there is some error here. Amend this. If you are going to run, then it is giving you true. Why? Because CHR of 65 has given you A, capital A, and it returns a string. So A greater than, not greater than A, but it is equal to A, right? Correct, Abdul. So here you are able to see. So if you will write, let's say if you will write, okay, on this note, so let's say, tell me whether this is true or false. Python greater than and equal to, not greater than, less than and equal to Python. True or false? Tell me. True, false, error. Why it will be error? Why it will be error? Vinay and Dinesh, why it will be error? These are not the different data types. These are the similar data types, right? That is why I'm asking the question, Lakshmi. Case sense. That is why I'm asking the question. Yes, it is true. Few people are saying true. Yes, it will be true. Why? So now we need to understand one thing. See, capital A is starting from 65, correct? And small a is starting from 97. So if you will keep on finding the ASCII value of A, B, C, D, E, F, so you will find that, let me find the ASCII value of capital P, ORD of capital P, okay? And similarly, ORD of small p. So what will happen in this case? Small p. If I will run this, so you can see capital P, the ASCII value is 80, for small p it is 112. When you compare two similar data types, like in the case of string, it will do the comparison, it will not give you the error, okay? And when it will do the comparison between the string, it will compare element wise. It will compare this capital P with this small p, it will compare this small y with this y, T with T, H with H, O with O, and N with N, correct? Now how it will compare? So it will try to find the ASCII value of these both characters when it happens in the similar data types. Okay, when it happens in the similar data type, then it will try to find the ASCII value of this P and this P. So ASCII value of P, capital P is 80 and small p is 112. So 80 is less than and equal to 112. This is true. So it is returning true. Clear, everyone? So the cumulative value of the both character is different. Cumulative value means there is nothing called cumulative value. There will be no cumulative comparison, Dinesh. There will be only character by character comparison. Okay. So let's say if you will write here P and if you will remove this equal to, and if you're writing less than, so in this case it is going to give you false. Okay. Both are similar, but it is returning false. Clear? So there is no cumulative comparison, Dinesh. Any question from anyone? Please proceed with the question. I'm waiting. Otherwise, respond yes or no, something. Yes, it is a kind of string comparison, you can say, Doris. Okay. Okay, fine. So the next part is chaining of this operators. Okay, comparison operators. So remember what happens in chaining. Just read this. Chaining of comparison operator is possible, and in this case the final result is true if all the comparison are evaluated as true, otherwise it will return false. So what do I mean by this statement? So chaining means you can use multiple comparison operator in a single statement. Okay, so let's say 10 less than 20, greater than 5, less than 100, greater than and equal to 100, less than 200.35. Okay, so if you will see here, 10 less than 20 is true, 20 greater than 5 is true, then 5 less than 100 is true, 100 greater than and equal to 100 is true, and 100 less than 200.35 is also true. So now if you will see here, the result, the total result, every comparison result is coming as true. So in this case, if you run this code, it will give you true. But if any one condition will get false, then everything will get false. Okay, remember everything should be evaluated as true, then only the final result will be true, otherwise it will be false. So if I'm running the second one, it is giving me false because last condition is false. Rest all is true, but last condition is false. Because of that, everything is false. Is this clear? Comparison operator, everyone? Okay, now the next I will go to the equality operator. Okay, so in the equality operator, you have two operators, equal to, and not equal to. So what equal to says, equal to compares the content. Remember, this equality operator also returns the Boolean type, and it compares the content, whether the content on the left hand side and the content on the right hand side are equal or not. Equality operator always compares the content. Remember, equality operator compares the content. For example, I will take one more cell here. So let's say if I have A is equal to 10 or 100, B is equal to 100, and C is equal to 100.20, correct? So if I will write print A equal to B, this will be true. Okay, print A equal to C, this is false. So if I will run this code, so you can see the first one is coming true. Why? Because the content on the left hand side means 100, the content on the right hand side means 100 is same. So if the content are same, then this equality operator, equal to operator will return true, otherwise it will return false. And result will be just opposite if you will put not equal to. Okay, so means 100 is not equal to 100, this is false. So the first will become false and second one will become true. So if you will run this now, so it will be just opposite. Okay, so you have just two operators in equality operator, equal to and not equal to. Equal to is opposite to not equal to, and they are used to compare the content. Okay, now the next part is equality operator is allowed between different data types and similar data types. So let's see that. If I will say A equal to 65, true, false, error, 100.0, that is again. So let's say if you will compare this, Let me write equal to here, equal to, and let me comment this. Let me run this. So this is true. A equal to B and A equal to C. This is true. Okay. This one is error or true or false. A equal to 65. Almost everyone is wrong. This is going to be false. What I said, it compares the content. Tell me, the content A is equal to 65. Both content are same. Both content are same. No, so it is false. No, it is false. Correct. There is no error. Equality operator is allowed between different data types. Okay. Equality operator is allowed between different data types, but since it compares the content, if you will do the comparison between different data types, then it will give you false. Okay, because the content is not similar, right? Okay. So the next point is, like comparison operator, equality operator also allows chaining. Okay, equality operator also allows chaining. So let's say if you will write 10 equal to 10, or let's say I will write is not equal to 20, equal to 20, and is not equal to 100. So in this case, the same condition. If everything is true, then only it will be true. If any one comparison becomes false, then everything will be false. So if I will run this, everything is true, it is returning true. But if any one condition is false, then everything will be false. So let's say if I write equal to here, it will return false. Okay. I hope equality operator is clear. Everyone, please respond. Okay. Now I will come to the logical operator. False. Yes, yes. Okay. So now I will come to the logical operator. What is logical operator? Okay. So logical operator, why we say it is a logical operator? Because this operator works on the logic. Okay. So while going forward in the upcoming classes, you will see that we need to work on the logic, and based on the logic, we will be executing a part of the code. Okay. So sometime you need to write if condition or while condition. So in that case, you'll be writing some logic that will get evaluated as true or false. And remember, this logical operator also returns the Boolean type, true or false. Okay. Now, let's say if you write 10 less than 20, this is one logic, and 20 greater than 5, correct? So see, I have used one logical operator, which is AND, which is taking two logic, one on the left hand side and one on the right hand side. Now remember, this AND operator need true or false, means logic, true or false to execute the statement. Okay. Whatever you have written on the left hand side, it should get evaluated as true or false. Whatever you are writing on the right hand side, this should also get evaluated as true or false. Okay, finally. So if you are writing here, let's say, since this is 10 less than 2, this is true, and 20 greater than 5, this is also true. So true and true will always return true. Now how true and true is returning true? So there is a table for logical operation. So this is for AND operation. Now what AND operation says that if any one operand is false, if any one operand is false, you can see here in the second case, one operand is false, third case, one operand is false, in the fourth case, both the operands are false. So logical AND operation says that if any one operand is false, then the output will be false, and the output will be true only when both of the operands are true. Clear? Similarly, what logical OR operation says? Logical OR operation says that if any one operand is true, you can see first operand, second operand, and third operand. At least one operand is true, so it will return true. And if both operand are false, then it will return false. Okay, so this is logical OR operation. Now, logical NOT operation, what it says, just opposite. If you will write not true, it will return false. Not false, it will return true. Okay, just opposite. Okay, now let's do that. So in this program, what you can see, this first logic got converted to true, this got converted to true, true and true, true. So let's say if I will write here true and true, so it will return true. Sorry, this true should be capital. I'll run this, it will be true, correct? Similarly, if I will write true and false, And if I run this, it will return false. So at least one condition is false in the case of at least one operand is false in the case of AND operation, then the result will be false. Okay, fine. Just opposite is for the OR. Let's say if at least one operand is true. Okay, if at least one operand is true, then the result will be true in the case of OR. Fine. So this is about the logical operation. Fine. Now, AND operation always gives the importance to false. It will always check whether I have false or not. If it will find one false, then the complete result will be false. OR operation always gives the importance to true. If it will find at least one true in the expression, the final result will be true. Remember this, okay? So based on this concept, we have this. Okay, A and B, A or B, what this is going to be. So let's say if I have, as of now, we have written these operations, right? Some comparison operation or equality operation you can write. What if you are having this 10 and 20, then what will be the result? What will be the result in this case? Okay, so one thing, remember, in the case of Boolean values, so true means what? True means 1. False means what? False means 0. Okay. Yes, Sushil. So false means 0, true means 1. Okay. Now, if you will come opposite, right, means number wise. So let's, in case of 0, 0 is false. 0 will always be false. But apart from 0, everything is true. Okay. Apart from 0, everything is true. If you take 0.00001, that is true. If you take 0.00000 10 times, that is false. So apart from 0, everything is true. But opposite side, true means 1, false means 0. Okay. So this thing you need to understand. Now, okay. So when you will execute this, 10 means what? True. 20 means what? True. Both are true. So if both are true, so AND operation, what I said, AND operation always gives the importance to false. It will try to find, I will come to the negative values, Dinesh, just wait for a minute. Negative values is also true. I told you, apart from 0, everything is true. Whether you take negative value, whether you take positive value, everything is true. Okay, fine, Dinesh. Okay, so when you are writing 10 and 20, so 10 is true, 20 is true, but AND operation always gives the importance to the false. It will try to find the false in all its operation. So first it will look for the first operand, it is not false, it is true. So it will go for the second operand, which is also true. So when it will go to the last operand, and if it is not false, then it will print the last result, last value, 20. So in this case, it will print 20, okay? I'm repeating this again. In the case of AND operation, it will always look for the false value. And false means what? 0. If at any place it will find 0 or false, it will print that value. Okay? 0 or false, if it will find at any place, it will print that value. If it will not find that 0 or false, then it will print always the last value, because last value it is checking, whether it is true or false or not. So the last value it will check, and it will, if it is not false, then it will print that last value. So here the last value it is checking is 20. So it is printing 20. Clear? So if you will run this code, it will give you 20. Fine. Let's say same code. If I will have this, 0. Then what will be the result? What will be the result? No, remember, yes, 0, correct. Lakshmi, it will print 0. So first value is 10, which is a true. So it will go for the second value. Second value is what? 0, which is a false. So it will print 0. If you run this, it will print 0. Let's say if you have this 0 and 20, then what it will print? 0. Again, this time also 0. Okay, no, Doris, it will not print 20. I told you it will always look for the false value. In the first look itself, it finds 0, which is a false. So it will print false, which is 0. Okay, it will not go and check the second value, because AND always gives the importance to false value, 0 value. So when it started looking for this value, so it got 0, which is the first value, and it is false, so it has printed 0. Okay, so it will print 0. Okay, now what if this 0.0 and 0? What will be the result? 0 or 0.0? Everyone, 0 or 0.0? The output will be 0.0. Okay, because the first value itself is false, 0.0. Correct? So it is false. Okay, I hope it is clear. Similarly, let's come to the OR operation. Let's say you have 10 and 20. So what I said, OR operation always gives the importance to the true value. In the case of OR operation, the first value itself is true. 10 is true. So which value it will print? It will print 10. It will not go and check the second value, because first value itself is true. No, I told you OR operation always gives the importance to true, and 10, the first value itself is true, so it will print 10. Okay, so if I will write print 10 or 0, then what value it will print? 10. Why? Because the first value is true, so it doesn't have to go and check the second value. If you will print, if you will run, it will give you 10. Let's say if you will write 0 or 10, then what will be the result? 10. In this case, 0 is the first value is false, so it has to check the second value. Second value is true, so it will print the second value, which is 10. So let's say if you will write this print 0 or 0.0, which value it will print? 0 or 0.0? 0.0. Okay, why? Because 0 is the first false value, and OR doesn't give importance to the false value, so it will go and check whether the second value is true or not. Second value is also false, so the last value it has checked is 0.0, so it will print 0.0. So if you will run, the output will be 0.0. Is this clear for everyone? Logical operation? Any question? Okay, thank you. So now I will come to the next operation, which is bitwise operation. Okay, so before coming to bitwise operation, I would like to discuss one more function, which is bin function. Bin function is used to convert any value into the binary value. Okay, you can get the binary value easily from the bin function. Is used to get the binary value. Okay, fine. So if you want to get the binary value, you can easily use bin function. For example, if you want to get the binary value of 10 number, 10 digit, okay, so you can pass 10 in the bin function, it will return you the binary value, and it comes with 0b prefixed with it. Okay, so ignore this 0b. 0b tells that it is a binary function, binary value. Okay, you can focus on this last value. Apart from 0b, you can focus on all other values. That will be the binary equivalent. For example, if I want to get the binary equivalent of 64649. So what is the binary equivalent of 64649? So this is the binary equivalent of 64649. So ignore 0b. Okay, ignore 0b. This value is equivalent to, this is the binary representation of 64649. Okay, so this binary will be useful. Now we are coming to the bitwise operator. Okay, now what this bitwise operator, what all operators we have? We have bitwise, how to get the binary value to value. How to get binary value? You are asking that how to get the from binary to decimal. So you can say a is equal to this value, you can assign to this variable. Okay, simple. This is simple. You can assign the binary value to a variable, and you just print that variable. It will give you the corresponding value. Okay, corresponding decimal value. Okay, Dinesh, clear? Okay. So now what all bitwise operation we have? We have bitwise AND, bitwise OR, bitwise XOR, bitwise negation, bitwise left shift, and bitwise right shift. We need to focus on this, and we will try to cover this today. Okay, everyone, will try to finish this today, this operation, so that we can start with the if else and loop from tomorrow. Okay. Okay. So, and those who are in the meeting, I would just like to take the feedback. on if we can extend this session for by next week, because what I feel that we are covering this many topics, this many concepts, so we might need to extend this to the next week, okay, by Monday or Tuesday. So if everyone is fine, we can extend it. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you everyone. Sure. Okay, so now let's see this Bitwise and Bitwise or Bitwise XOR, what all these operations. So before coming to this, remember what I said, 1 means what? True, 0 means what? False. And why we say Bitwise operation? Because these operators works on the bits. What bits? So, you know, I told you that everything which you write on the screen, it gets converted into the binary value in the machine code. These all are the binary value. Everything will get finally converted into this, into the signals 0, 1, 0, 1, it will get converted into this. Okay. So internally, they do these operations on the bits. Okay. So Bitwise operators works on the bits. Okay, so let's say if you want to do the bitwise AND operation on two numbers, for example, if you will try to do 24 and 25, bitwise AND operation you want to do, okay, between 24 and 25, then how you will get? So if you want to do, then you have to find the bitwise binary representation of 24, you have to get the binary representation of 25, and then you have to do the bitwise operation between 24 and 25, bitwise and between them. How you can do that? So let's see that how we can do that. So before coming to this, I will tell you how it will happen. So when you will execute this code, so first 24 will get converted into binary value. What is the binary equivalent of 24? Let's first get it. So bin of 24 will give me the binary equivalent of 24. So binary equivalent of 24 is 11100, 11100. I'm ignoring 0B, okay? Now what is the binary equivalent of 25? So binary equivalent of 25 will be 11001. This is the binary equivalent of 24 and 25, okay? Now we need to do the AND operation between 24 and 25, bitwise AND operation. So now this operation will be happening on every bit, 0 and 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, okay? So I'm going to do the bitwise AND operation, okay? How this bitwise AND operation will work. So see here, I have created one table. If you are going to do bitwise AND operation, so 1 and 1 will give you 1, 1 and 0 will give you 0. So basically you can consider 0 as false, 1 as true. So whenever any one operand is 0, the result will be 0. And if both operand are 1, then the result will be 1. So let's see that. Let's cross verify it here. What output we will get here? So the output we will get here is opposite operands will give you 0, right? So 0 and 1 will be 0, clear. Now 0 and 0 will be 0, this is also 0. 0 and 0 will be 0, this is also 0. 1 and 1 will be 1, 1 and 1 will be 1. So this is the final result, okay? Now this final result is equivalent to what? This final result is equivalent to 24, isn't it? 11000, 11000. So if I will execute this statement, I should get 24, isn't it? So let's see that if I'm getting 24 or not. If I'll execute this, I'm getting 24. So this is how bitwise AND operation works. Is this clear for everyone? Any question, anyone? If want me to explain again, let me know. I will explain it. Anyone, any question, please? Okay. So when I'm going to execute, so what is this bitwise operation? First, we need to understand bitwise operator works. Yes, it does internally. You don't have to do all these things. Okay. This Python does all these conversions and one form to another form. It does internally. Okay. We are doing this manually to understand that how it is working. Okay. So let's say if you want to do the bitwise operation between these two numbers, someone might be having the question where I'll be using this bitwise operation. So remember, as a data scientist or as a developer, also normal developer, you are not going web developer or some other developer, you are not going to use this bitwise operation at all. Okay. Even you may not use this in your regular classes when you'll be doing this. Okay. In the data science classes. But as I said, this is the part of the course. This is the part of the Python. You need to know all these things. That is one thing. From the interview perspective, you need to know. Second thing. And the third thing, which is very important, is in case you don't know, there is the huge recession coming up. You might need to change your domain, or you might need to learn the development, and you might need to move into the development. In that case, you need to understand all these bitwise operations also, because most of the people have problem in understanding these bitwise operations. Okay, so if you will have the basic idea of it, So development guys, those who are into the core development, right? Those who develop the like kind of applications like Chrome application or Windows application or Mac application, they work on this bitwise operation. Okay, or those who work on the hardware level, they work on this embedded devices. Those who does the programming on embedded devices, they work on this bitwise operations. Okay, but for you, if you are coming into the data science, so you don't have to work on this, but just for understanding purpose how it is working, you need to understand. If you're not able to understand, probably you can go to the videos again and then you'll be able to understand. And still, if you are facing the problem, read about it. You will not face much challenges. I'm explaining it to my best. I'm trying my best to explain it. Okay, so I'll explain it again. Bitwise operation works on the bits. Now, how we get the bits? So whenever you do the bitwise operation, internally every operand gets converted into the bits. If I will write A and B, let's say if I will write here A and B. So what it will do internally, what it will do, it will get converted into the bits. A and B will get converted into the bits. So if I will run this code, here it is giving this, and str is not supported. Okay, so let's say if I will do 65 and 65, 65 and 66. Okay, 65 and 66. So it will do this operation, which is giving me the result, which is 65 and 66. So it will give me the result 64. Okay, fine. So internally, what I will do, whenever someone will write A or B, I will try to convert it into the ASCII value, and then from ASCII value, I will get the binary value, and then I will do this operation. So that is the different part. When you will write the program, then you have to do that. But how exactly bitwise operation works, you need to understand. So whenever a number comes, remember this bitwise operation will be working on the number. We will be taking only the numbers. Okay. So why? Because everything will be converted to the number. No. How 64? I'll explain this. Okay, I'll explain this. How 65 and 66 is coming to 64. Okay. So A and B will also get converted into the number because they have the corresponding ASCII value. Internally, they will get converted into a number, and that number will get converted into the binary. So when you write 65 and 66, so what it will do, first try to get the corresponding value, 65, binary representation of 65. What is the binary representation of 65? From bin, you can easily get it. We can do the manual conversion also, but I don't want to spend the time in that. The binary conversion of 65 is this. Okay, so let's write this. What is the binary conversion of 65? For 65, the binary conversion is this one. Okay, Control B. This is the binary conversion of 65. Okay, now what is the binary conversion of 66? So 66, the binary conversion of 66 is 64, and this is 66. Okay, this is the binary conversion of 66. If you want to check, Control C, Control V, you can write here 66 and you can run this. Yes, it will give you this. Okay, you can check this. This and this are similar. Okay, 65 parity bit issue. As of now, there is no concept of parity bit, Rajkumar. So I'll explain how it is coming 64. Okay, the result will come like 64. We will show you. So 65 and 6 are this. Now we need to do the AND operation between them, right? This is the AND operation. Now this AND operation, what it says, that the opposite operands will get converted to 0, right? So first 1 and 0, we are doing from right hand side. Remember, we are doing from right hand side. So 1 and 0 will give me 0. Sorry, Control C. I need to write the result here. 1 and 0 will give me 0. Then 0 and 1 will give me 0. Okay. Then 0 and 0 will give me 0. Then what else? 3. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 means 3, 0 I'm getting here. 1, 2, and 3. Then finally 1 and 1 will give me 1 because both are similar. So it will give me 1. Now count this. If you are trying to get the binary equivalent, then simply write A is equal to 0, B and this value. Okay. Control C, right here, Control V and print A. Okay. If you will run this, you will get 64, right? Isn't it? So you are getting 64 here. You can say this is equivalent to 64. Okay. Fine. Chandrasekhar, is this clear? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is how we get the bitwise AND operation. Similarly, bitwise OR operation will happen. Similarly, bitwise OR operation will happen. So let's say if you want to do the bitwise OR operation, then what will happen? So in the case of bitwise OR operation, So this is the result. If any one operand is 1, the result will be 1. If both operand are 0, then the result will be 0. Okay, in the case of bitwise OR operation. So let's see that how I can get the result. So print, let's say if I will try to do 24 or 25. Okay, so what will be the result? So first we will try to convert, we will try to get the binary value. This is the binary value, Control C and Control V here. And now we will try to do the bitwise OR operation, correct? So this is the bitwise OR operation sign. Now let's see the result. If opposite operands, if any one operand is 1, then the result will be 1. And if both operands are 0, then only the result will be 0. Okay, so this last one, the rightmost is 1. Okay, 0 and 1 is 1. Middle 2 are 0 and extreme left hand side 2 are 1. So in other words, I can write 1, 1, 0, 0 and 1. Clear? This is the result. So the final result will be 25. In the case of OR operation, the final result will be 25. So if I will execute this code, 24 or 25, will I get the result? Let's see the result. I am getting 25. Okay. Fine. So this is the result 25. So what we did, again, 24 has to be converted into binary, 25 has to be converted into binary, and then we will do the OR operation. Bitwise OR operation. 0, 1, 0 or 1 will give you what? 1. Here you can see at least one operand should be 1. In the case of OR, it will return 1. Okay. So here it is returning 1. Okay. 0 and 1. If both operand are 0, then only it will return 0. Rest all condition 1. So it is returning this value, which if you will convert, it will give you 25. I hope OR operation is clear. Everyone. Bitwise OR operation is clear. Okay. So now I will go to the bitwise OR operation. Now what bitwise OR operation says? Bitwise OR operation says that if both the bits are similar, then the result will be 0. And if both the bits are dissimilar, then the result will be 1. Bitwise OR operation says this. Okay. So let's see that if I will do 24 XOR 25, this is the XOR sign. So what will be the result? So let's see that what will be the result. Copy this, paste it here, and let's do the bitwise XOR operation. So bitwise XOR operation, similar bits will give you 0 and dissimilar bits will give you 1. So 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Everything is 0 except last bit. 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. So the result will be what? Result will be 1. So if I will run this code, it should give me 1. So let me run this code. I'm getting 1. Correct? Fine, everyone. So this is bitwise XOR operation. Okay. You can follow this table. This PPT will be shared. Follow this table. Take some different number. Do this manually on your own. Concept will get clear slowly. Give some time. You are at home. Give some time to yourself to learn these topics in detail. And if you face any problem, you can ask me the question in tomorrow's class. Okay. Fine. Okay, now we will come to the bitwise negation operation. Okay, so there is a formula to get the result for bitwise negation. Okay, so let's say if you want to get the bitwise negation of n, okay, let's say if you will write bitwise negation of 10, then the result will be, let's say I will not write 10, I will write n. If you want to get the bitwise negation of n, then the result will be minus of n plus 1. The result will be what? Minus of n plus 1. Okay, so let's see that. If I will cross verify it, I'm trying to find the bitwise negation of 10. Okay, this is not minus sign, this is negation sign. Shift the button which is on the top of tab. Okay, tilde button. Okay, so bitwise negation of 10 will give me what? 10 plus 1, 11, minus 11, isn't it? So if I will run this, I should get minus 11. I'm getting it minus 11. So tell me the output of this. Bitwise negation of true. What will be the output of this? Everyone? Bitwise negation of true. No. Correct. Indra. It will be minus 2. Because true is 1. So 1 plus 1 is going to be 2 and minus 2 will be the result. Okay. Not false. It is not doing the opposite. Okay. It is evaluating. It is giving you some expression. Correct. So true, the numerical value of true is 1. So 1 plus 1 will become 2 and minus 2 will be the final result. Clear, Chandrasekhar and Lakshmi? Everyone, is this clear? Any explanation required in bitwise negation? Any question? No. So now I will move to the Raja. Do you have any question? Let me know if you have any question. Okay, so now I will move to the next, left shift and right shift. Okay, now before coming to left shift and right shift, we have discussed a lot about 32-bit operating system and 64-bit operating system. Okay, what is this 32-bit and 42-bit, 64-bit and 32-bit operating system? So actually, this says that at a time, how much big number our system can handle and how much data we can handle in a fraction of second. Okay, so for example, let's say if I'll talk about 32-bit data, right? So our system can, let's say if I have a 32-bit operating system, our system can handle this much big number. Okay, our system can easily handle this much big number, and if our system is 64-bit, then our system can handle this much big number. Okay, so when it comes to 32-bit and 64-bit, this is not only the representation, or this is not only the use. When it comes to 32-bit, the values which are getting saved in our memory, or the value which are getting processed in binary, how they will be represented? They will be represented in 32-bit or 64-bit binary values. For example, when you represent 10 in the binary format, okay? When you represent 10 in the binary format, what is the binary equivalent of 10? It is 1010. But this is only 4-bit, okay? This is only 4-bit. But let's say if you have 32-bit operating system, then what you will do? So in the case of 32-bit operating system, this will be represented by 32 bits. So to represent this 10 in the 32 bits, there should be 32 bits in this number. So how that 32 bits will be completed? Will by adding 0 in the beginning, because by adding 0 in the beginning, there will be no changes we'll be making to this number. It will remain 10 only. So I'll be adding 32 bits. 4 bits are already there. I'll be adding 28 more bits. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. So if I will simple copy this and if I will paste this here, so this will become 32 bits. So in the case of 32-bit operation, 32-bit operating system, a number get represented like this in the 32-bit values. Okay, fine. Now, why I'm saying this? So in the case of 64-bit, this bits will become 64 bits. Okay, so 64, let's say for 10, so 1010 will be there, and before that 60 will be there. Okay, like this it will be represented. Now let's come to left shift. So when you do left shift, so left shift takes one number for which you want to do the left shift. So first, the number which I'm writing 10 here, this number I want to do the left shift operation on this number. So if you want to do the left shift, you will be writing less than sign 2 times. Okay, and then you will be writing that by how many bits you want to do this left shift operation. For example, I want to do this left shift operation by 2 bits. Okay, then I will be writing 2 here. Then how this left shift operation will be executed? So first, this 10 will be represented in the accordingly. So if it is 32-bit or 64-bit, accordingly it will be represented. So let's say I will take it as a 32-bit. So first 10 will be represented in the 32-bit representation system, and in that what will happen? First 2 bits from the beginning. Leave the control, please. 2 bits from the beginning. Since we are doing the left shift by 2 bits, so 2 bits from the beginning or from the left hand side will be removed. Since it is left shift operation, so 2 bits from the left hand side will be removed, and 2 zeros will get added towards the end, towards the right hand side. Okay, and then the values will be calculated. So if you will try to find the values, 2 to the power 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it will be coming around 40. Okay, so how it will be calculated? So that you can find, if you will try to find 101,000, what is the equivalent by a decimal equivalent of this? So right here A is equal to 0B 101,000, and try to print the value of A. You will get it is 40. Correct? You can see here the result is 40. Correct? And here 10 left shift 2 also you are getting 40. Correct? So let's say if I will comment all these things, control this, and I'm just executing this part. So 10 left shift 2 I'm getting 40, and A also I'm getting 40. So the result for this is what? 40, and we have evaluated as 40. Okay, Clear? So how left shift is operation is happening? So the number which you have taken, first it will be represented in binary based on the operating system, 32-bit or 64-bit. This will be represented in 32-bit or 64-bit. If you are by how many bits you want to do this shift operation, you will mention it here. Let's say if you have mentioned 2, so 2 bits will be removed from the left hand side. Why? Because it is left shift operation. And 2 zeros will get added towards the right hand side. And then it will try to calculate the final decimal value of this. And finally decimal value, you will get it from here. So that is equivalent to 40. And finally you got the result. Okay. So this is how left shift operation happens. Okay. Let's say if you will try to do it by 3 bits, then what will be the result? So if you will try to run this, then the result will be this. It is 80. Okay. So in that case, what will happen? You will remove one more zero from here and you will add one more zero here. Okay. So now if you try to find, it will not be 40, it will be higher value. So it will be 80. Okay. So if you try to find 101 000 000, 101 101 000, you need to add one more zero here. Yes. One more zero. So if you will run this, it will give you 80. Correct? This is 80. You can see now. This is 80. Okay. So this is how left shift operation happens. So you need to mention that by how many bits you want to do the shift operation and on which number. Okay. This is one thing. Second thing, whenever you do the left shift operation, so whatever value you have taken here, the result will be higher than this value because everything is getting shifted towards left hand side. So the position of one is changing. So always the value which you'll be getting eventually will be higher, right? Clear? So I hope it is clear. Now the last topic which I will discuss today is right shift operation. It is similar to left shift. Similarly, let's say if you want to do the right shift operation on 10, then what you will do? 10, right shift operation, 2 times greater than sign, and by how many bits you want to do? 2 times, 2 bits, right? So first you will represent this number in the binary value. So let's represent this. Okay, this is the binary representation of 10. Since it is right shift operation, so 2 bits will be removed from right hand side. I have removed this 2 bits. Okay. After removing these 2 bits from right hand side, 2 bits will be added on the left hand side, which will be 0. After adding, now you will try to calculate the final value, which will be 2 to the power 0, 2 to the power 1, which is equivalent to 2. So if I will run this code, I should get 2. 10 right shift 2, I should get 2. So let's run this code. I am getting 2. Okay. So in the case of right shift operation, what happens? First, this value will be represented in binary. The same number of bits will be removed from the right hand side, whatever you have mentioned here. If you have mentioned 2 bits will be removed, and 2 bits, 2 zeros will get added in the left hand side, and then it will calculate the decimal equivalent, which will finally give you the result. Okay. So this is how right shift operation happens. Let me know if any question in the bitwise operation. If no, then we will end the session, and tomorrow we'll try to finish this operators and if else and loop. Let me know any question, any explanation again. Yes, please, Raja. Raja, what is this index.html dashboard? What is this? Okay. Yes. So, what do you want me to do here? So that time symbol 1, please. That time symbol 1, please. Can we do using Python? What exactly you want to do? Yes, you can do lot of data crunching here. You can get lot of information from here. Yes, you can do it. You can do web scraping and then you can do some operation on that. You can do that. Is it possible to cover basic visualization post this? I don't know whether all these topics are there in that or not, but yes, if you guys would like to do that, then probably contact Mr. Krishna or the WhatsApp number which is given in the course brochure. You can get the WhatsApp number from there and you can communicate with the admin guys. If they will ask me to do that, I will do that, because I think after this statistics parts will also be covered. So I got this time, I got this, you can say period increased by next week. I told these admin guys that I want some extra time to cover all these topics. So they, given me that liberty that I can take this class till next week, Monday or Tuesday, I need to finish it. Whereas it was supposed to cover by this week, Friday, everything, which is simply not possible. This much big topic, okay? Rajkumar sir, that till symbol one operator, which you explained. Yes, yes. What question you have, Rajkumar? You can tell me related to that. Raja, yes, you can do a lot of processing. You can do from here using Python. At least you can fetch the data. You can do the web scraping, and then you can do the basic operations. You can get the basic analytics from here. Okay, using the different tools available in Python. Okay. Yes, Raj, that concept once again. Okay, tilde operation you are asking me to do. So we'll ask them. Yeah, sure. I will suggest them. Okay. So tilde operation is the negation operation. Where I did this, I think here. Yes. Okay. So this negation operation, what it is. So whenever you try to negate some value, so this is a bitwise operation, right? Yes. Yes. Yes, Raja. You can pose the question. I'll get back to you. Okay. So if you will write this bitwise negation of n, right? If you will take any number, so final result you will get as this n should be added with 1. First, this plus 1 will get added into it, and then minus will be placed before this. Okay. So let's say if you are writing bitwise negation of n, then minus of n plus 1 will be the result. So if you are writing bitwise negation of 10, then the final result will be what? First, 10 plus 1, which is equal to 11. And minus will be placed before that. So final result will be minus 11. Let's say if you are trying to find bitwise negation of true, then we know true is what? True is 1. So 1 plus 1 will become 2, and then minus 2 will be the result. Okay. Let's say if you are trying to find bitwise negation of minus 12, then first minus 12 plus 1 will be evaluated. Minus 12 plus 1 will be what? Minus 11. Minus 11 into minus will be plus 11. So the result will be plus 11. Clear? Raj Kumar? Bitwise negation of 0 is 1. Yes, correct. 0 plus 1 is 1. Correct. So minus 1. Fine. Correct. So let's see that. Let's say if I will print bitwise negation of 0, it should print minus 1. Correct. Comment multiple lines. You may select the multiple lines. Let's say if you want to comment these lines. So you can select all these lines and command / or control /. Okay. Yesterday's session is available and how to get PDF from the topics covered on today. See, this PPT will be shared. Okay. Now, whatever I'm writing here in this paint, okay, this will be uploaded. So I don't know whether you guys have, access this Google Classroom or not. So those who have not accessed the Google Classroom, please go ahead and, join the Google Classroom content. Okay. So you can go to Google Classroom. Okay. So this is my account. I'm showing it here. You might have received a mail today. In that mail, it is clearly mentioned that how you can join the Google Classroom. Okay. One PPT has been shared, Google slide. You can follow that PPT and you can join the Google Classroom. Google Classroom code has also been shared. Okay. And what you need to do is you can click on this Google Classroom. After joining, it will show like this. Okay. So you need to go to data science prep session. And from here, you can go to classwork. In the classwork, you have this prep session 1 for yesterday's class. Okay. Day 1 class recording. Yes, someone has shared here. Yes, correct. It is uploaded on YouTube also. But here class material and everything is there. So you can see this is the PNG, this is the image which I have drawn yesterday. Whatever I explained, I have drawn here. So this one you will find it here. The code which I have written yesterday, the simple code I have written, all these things you will be able to find. And the PDF, the PPT I have uploaded here. Okay. So you can get the PPTs also in the class material. And in the class recording, this class recording will also be available. Similarly, for the class 2, there will be prep session 2, 31/3/2020. Another will be created. And in that class recording and class material will be uploaded. So you can get it from there. Okay. Fine. Dinesh, you have the link here. You can copy this link and keep it for your reference. we'll learn how to get the PDF. So it will be uploaded here. Please join. Satish, join this Google Classroom. You'll get the, this one. My question is another one. You can see Excel sheet right end side. End side, where? Yes. Okay. So in that link you said. Where is that link? Yes. Where? Right hand side. This sheet you are saying this? Yes, XLS. Yes. Yes, I can see that. Link is classroom.google.com. This is the link, okay? This is the link, okay? And class code, just give me a second. How to use that Excel sheet? You can download it, okay? And there is a module in Python. There is a package in Python for handling the Excel sheet, okay? So you can read. I think it is OpenPyXL. OpenPyXL. This is the module to handle the Excel sheet in Python. Okay, you can read about this. Raja. How can I get the interactive interface? Interactive interface? Which interactive interface? I don't know. Are you talking about Doris? Are you talking about this Google Classroom? Class code. Yes, just a second. I'm sharing the class code. Just a second. I've shared the class code in the chat box. Please copy it and paste it. Join right now. Okay. So how you can join, I will show you once again. So for example, what you can do is, so I have opened up fresh account. What you can do, you can simply type Google Classroom here. Remember this account with which you have, logged into the Google account, and this Gmail account should be similar. Remember, this both should be similar. Once it is similar, just type Google Classroom lifetime. Okay. You can go to this Google Classroom. After going to this, I have already enrolled into it, so I will unenroll out myself from this. And then to enroll, what you need to do, so this UI will come, okay? So first click on plus. Here you will get the option of join class, and then after clicking on this, you'll get this, enter the class code, which is this, and click on join. After clicking on join, you need to wait for 5 seconds or 10 seconds. Then this UI will come. Here you can go to the classwork, and in the classwork, you will be able to see the content, okay? You can check anything. Okay, you can download these things, and you may be able to watch this recording, okay? Okay. No. Everything. See, this is one classroom. This classroom is for the session which started yesterday. Okay, whatever sessions will be happening, all those recordings and material will be uploaded here only. Okay. Fine. Okay. Any other question? Anyone? So let's end this session. We'll meet tomorrow, same time, 8 o'clock. Try to join at the same time, 8 o'clock. Okay. Fine, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Have a nice day. Bye.